The Kamboja-Pala dynasty ruled parts of Bengal in the 10th to 11th centuries CE, after invading during the reign of Gopala II. The Palas, the last Kamboja ruler of the Kamboja-Pala Dynasty Dharmapala, was defeated by the South Indian Emperor Rajendra Chola I of the Chola dynasty in the 11th century. Origins. During the last centuries BCE, many clans of the Kambojas entered India in alliance with the Sakas, Pallavas, Javanas and spread into Sindhu, Saurashtra, Malwa, Rajasthan, Punjab and Sirasena. An offshoot of the Meerut Kambojas moved eastwards and entered the Pala domains, and in the 10th century, conquering northwest Bengal. Kamboja tribes were employed by the Palas following Dharmapala's conquests due to the lack of native cavalry in Bengal. Extent of Kamboja Empire. No definite information is available on the precise geographical area of the Kamboja-Pala Kingdom of Bengal. According to early copper plate evidence, the Kamboja-Pala Kingdom definitely comprised Viradmanabhukti Mandala and Dandabhakti Mandala within the Kamboja Empire. The Dandabhakti division is believed to have comprised southern and southwestern parts of district Midnapore as well as the lower parts of river Suvaranrekha in district Balasore. Evidence from Dinajpur inscription attests that the Gauda country also formed parts of Kamboja-Pala Kingdom, but as long as we do not include northern Ladakh in Kamboja-Pala Empire, the region does not constitute one viable political entity. Hence it appears likely that northern parts of Radha may also formed parts of Kamboja-Pala Kingdom. Dr. R.C. Majumdar says that Gauda and Radha both formed parts of Kamboja-Pala Empire during second half of the 10th century. The Chandala ruler Yashovarman invaded the Pala kingdom. Vakpati, a courtier poet, claims that he conquered Gauda and Mithila. It is also stated that Chandala chief Dharma of Jajabhakti, the successor of Yashovarman, had invaded Radha towards the end of 10th century. As a consequence, the Kamboja-Pala in the North Bengal received a severe jolt. This political scenario enabled the Pala king Mahipala I to reconquer Gauda from the Kambojas. The last king of the Kambojas was Dharmapala, who continued to rule Dandabhakti in the first quarter of 11th century. The Kamboja ruler Dharmapala of Dandabhakti was defeated by the South Indian Emperor Rajendra Chola I, who invaded Bengal and Bihar in the 11th century. The capital of the Kamboja-Pala Kingdom is stated to be Priangu, which has not been identified yet, though some scholars tend to identify the same with an old village known as Pingvani located in Garvatana. Known Kamboja kings of Bengal. We know the names of 3 Kamboja rulers of the Kamboja-Pala family for sure, viz. Rajapala, Narajnipala and Nayapala. The charter was issued by Kamboja king Nayapala, wherein he and his father are given the imperial titles like Parameshvara, Paramabhattacharya and Maharaja. The copper plate inscription also attests that the founder of the Kamboja-Pala dynasty was King Rajapala. He has been referred to as Kamboja Shatalaka Paramasorgata Maharaja Parameshwara Paramabhattaraka Rajapala. This proves that this line of kings belonged to the Kamboja lineage. The second king is Narajnipala, who was son of Rajapala. Narajnipala was succeeded by his younger brother Nayapala, the author of the Urdu copper plate. Dr. R.C. Majumdar states that the expression Kunjargata Varshan of the Dinajpur inscription indicates that Kunjargata Varshan was personal name of Kamboja Gaudapati of the Dinajpur inscription. If this is so, then this Kamboja Gaudapati is the 4th known Kamboja king of Kamboja dynasty of Bengal. Some scholars however believe that the Kamboja Kamboja-Pala of the Dinajpur inscriptions is same as Kamboja-Pala Rajapala of the Urdu copper plate. This does not seem to be true, since Rajapala of the Urdu copper plate is described as devotee of Buddha, whereas Kamboja-Pala of Dinajpur inscriptions claims in his own inscription to be a Shiva devotee. It may however be possible that Kamboja-Pala is same as Kamboja King Nayapala of the Urdu copper plate, since King Nayapala also claims to be a Saivite in the Urdu copper plate. The last known ruler of the Kamboja-Pala dynasty is stated to be King Dharmapala, who ruled in Dandabakti in first quarter of 11th century. Religion of Kamboja. Rulers of Bengal. The Kamboja-Pala of Dinajpur inscriptions is stated to be a builder of Shiva temple and therefore was devotee of Shiva. He is said to be a great bestower of the charities. Kamboja-Pala Rajapala, the first king of the Urdu copper plate, is referred to as Paramasargata. The third ruler, Rajendra Kamboja, is stated to be a devotee of god Vishnu. King Nayapala Kamboja, the author of Urdu copper plate, is known to have practiced Shiva cult. There is no information on the Kamboja ruler Dharmapala, but it appears likely that he may have also been a Vedic follower, i.e. either Saivite or a Vishnu devotee. The Urdu copper plate has references to Hindu gods, high-rising temple buildings, as well as to the sacred smokes rising from the yagufas into the skies. This again alludes to the Hinduism of the Pala Kambojas. Urdu copper plate also makes special references to the Purohits, Kritavarjas, Dharmajas and other holy officials. Thus we find that the Kamboja kings of Bengal were mostly Vedic Hindus, of course with the exception of King Rajapala. Mention is made of grants of lands and villages to the Purohits in the Burdwan district of East Bengal. According to Professor R.C. Majumdar, more significant, however, is the inclusion of Purohits in the land grants of the Kamboja, Varman and Sena kings of Bengal. It indicates that great importance was attached to religious and social aspects of administration during rules of these dynasties, which were all followers of Orthodox Hinduism. Dr. B.N. Sent says that the Buddhism, which had followers in the early Pala and Kandra rulers, was probably on the decline in Bengal during 10th century. On the other hand, the Vedic religion was on the rise. Since the Kamboja-Pala kings of Bengal were mostly Vedic Hindus, hence they must have got full support from the subject, which must have helped them raise a powerful empire in Bengal. Camboja's in-caste system of Bengal. In the ancient caste classification in Bengal, there are references to people who came as invaders from northwest or accompanied the invaders. These people have been described as Malichas in the Brahmanical caste system in Bengal. Ancient Sanskrit and Pali texts and inscriptions profusely attest the Kambojas as a Malcha tribe of Uttarapada or Udachi division belonging to Indo-Iranian Asai, though Aryan and not to the Mongolian stock. The Northwesterners, including the Kambojas, Sakas, Hunas, Javanas, Abhiras, Khasis, Sabras, Turushkas, Sumas etc., have all been labeled as outsiders, foreigners or Malichas within the Bengali society, and therefore were left outside the caste classification of ancient Bengal. Compare also Part 2, Vi. Ancient Peoples of Bengal, evidence on later Kamboja rulers in Bengal. There is a literary evidence which attests one Kamboja king known as Jagannath ruling in Bengal as late as the 16th century. King Jagannath is stated to have patronized the Brahmana scholar Sura Mishra, who had composed Jagannatha Prakasa, a Smriti Granth in honor of this Kamboja king. Ashesh, Kamboja-Pala, the Vatansa Sri Jagannath-Riti Pasada, Akaraya Dharmani Band Matam Dradapaya Paya Kablayan Resha. This shows that the Kamboja rule in some parts of Bengal must have continued as late as 16th century.